Today, I'm building a draft, activating my bench boost chip, and then decide if that strategy is viable for game week 1. As you can see, I've used all of my budget. The team is worth 100 millions, and I believe that's the way because you need to invest all of your money in the starting 15 players here. In goal, I opted for Pickford in first place. He has a game against Fulham at home. Fulham are not going to be playing Mitrovic, so they are far less dangerous in attack. So Pickford is up to a clean sheet start, and that's good. If they make some shots for him, Pickford, I believe, will save them because Andreas Pereira is injured as well. So it will be something like Wilson, Willian, maybe Raul Jimenez, and someone else. So yeah, Pickford starting for Everton for sure, and for game week 1 has a pretty good fixture. Johnston against Sheffield United away. I believe Johnston is up for a clean sheet as well here. He is the best 4.5 keeper in my opinion because their defense is solid. He has pretty good save rate and their fixtures are okay. After game week 1, you can just rotate the goalkeepers with favorable fixtures, or you can just pick one and the other is staying on your bench. It will be a 4.5 keeper on your bench, but he will be playing, so it's up to you to decide who are you going to play. But for game week 1 and the bench boost strategy, you need two playing goalkeepers, and Pickford and Johnston fit the desired criteria perfectly fine. In defense, I opted for several popular picks and one and two differentials. First, let's talk about the popular picks. First of all, Gabriel, home fixture against Nottingham Forest. Then Arsenal are having a pretty good fixture run after that, so going with him is a pretty obvious choice. I need an Arsenal player for sure in my defense for that home fixture, and Gabriel can score a goal even from set piece, so he is a pretty solid option. Estupinian, a home game against Luton, a newly promoted side. I believe Brighton will win this game easily, and Estupinian can return not only a defensive return but an attacking return as well because he's so attacking and attacking minded. He scored several goals last year, provided many assists, a lot of bonus points. I missed a lot of his points last year, so I'm not going to do that this year, especially with him being over 50% owned. Next guy is John Stones. I need a Manchester City asset in my defense because they have a home fixture against Burnley. Last season they battered them 6-0 at the FA Cup fixture, and I don't see Burnley improving so much that they are going to surprise Manchester City. I believe 6-0 is not going to repeat, but something like 3-0 is a pretty viable option. And for me, John Stones can rack up an attacking return and a defensive return as well. Tarkovsky, he is a pretty solid option. I already explained my reasoning behind Pickford. It's the same for Tarkovsky, but with him, you can put him on the bench and you can rotate him in game weeks 4, 6, and 8 when Arsenal are having tougher fixtures, and just put Tarkovsky in and he can be your 4th or 5th defender, however you want to decide it, and just play with him because they have a pretty favorable fixtures when Arsenal are not having. So Gabriel Tarkovsky center back partnership duo is a pretty solid rotation option as well. And Machi Cash is my wildcard pick here because he's playing what looks like out of position wingback. So he's playing as a right wingback and he can attack a lot more when he is the only player on the right, and he already scored a goal. He's providing assists. He is taking shots from distance. He's good defensively as well. If they're playing for the back, I know Newcastle is not the best picture there yet, but I believe Aston Villa are going to be a dark horse this season in the Prem. So a good start against strong opposition as Newcastle will be a very big boost for them. And having much cash on your side when you need him, it's a pretty decent option. So for me, those 5 defenders are pretty good for the start of the game week 1. Then you can continue with them, and Stupinian can drop whenever you like for the likes of maybe Chilwell or someone else if you find a little bit more money. But yeah, for now and for the first 2 or 3 fixtures, this defense is going to be pretty solid. You'll be playing basically Stupinian, Gabriel and Stones most of the game weeks, but when they have bad fixtures, you can always put in Cash or Tarkovsky to cover for them. In midfield, I've also opted for a template and a little bit of spice. Let's talk about the template. First, 2 United boys, Rashford and Fernandes. I believe their home fixture against Wolves will be a go fest because Wolves are not very good and they lost most of their starting players during the summer break. and they are into a rebuild of a kind. So yeah, Rashford and Fernandes, I believe, are going to have a field day. For me, they are the best attackers right now. If the Højlund is coming, and when he comes and he joins the ranks of Manchester United, and depending on his price, he can be a very good option. But with the information that we have right now, Rashford and Fernandes for me are the most nailed and the best attacking option for Manchester United. Fernandes is on penalties, Rashford is for now their striker, but I believe that on the left wing he is better, and when Højlund comes and Rashford plays on the left wing, I believe that his scoring opportunities will increase for sure. Mitoma, just like Estupinian, for me, Mitoma is the most nailed and the best attacker in Brighton's team. I've said it many times. I'm seeing that a lot of players are opting to go without Mitoma. Last season I was hurt a lot when I was not owning at least one Brighton attacker and I was trying to cover it with a defender. I didn't see that working. I believe the Zebra is cooking something special there, and even if Mitoma is not playing the full 90 minutes, I believe that he's going to have a pretty good scoring record, because if he improves his finishing, he's going to be for the same likes of, let's say, Martinelli, because he's getting into so many attacking opportunities. He's just lacking a little bit of finishing. But if he improves his expected goals conversion, I believe that he will become a must pick in FPL. Saka nailed Nottingham penalties. I don't see any reason to go without him. Then you can prolong his stay in your team up until game week 8 when they face Manchester City. But Arsenal was such a good team that you can own him for the whole of the season. And Diaby is the spice that I was talking about. For me, he's going to light up the Premier League like for real. So yeah, it's a game against Newcastle. Once again, they are having a pretty good defensive record, but for me, Newcastle are going to lead the game, and Javi will exploit their weaknesses. And if he goes to go on a counter and start scoring and striking again, it will become even harder from their defenders to cover him. So I believe a goal is coming. And to add additionally into Mituma's appeal, I've read that the referees are going to prolong the additional time just like in the World Cup. So extra minutes of 10 minutes. So basically extra time equals 10, 11, 12 minutes even. So this will be even more play time, and players that are going to be taken more cautiously out because they will need to have a bigger impact. So maybe a substitute around the 70 minutes, not around the 60. So that's 10 more minutes that the player has scored, and that increases the appeal of players that are nailed for 90 minutes, such as Saka, Fernandes, Rashford, Gabriel, Estupinian, for example, because they will have even 10 more minutes to score a goal. So that's going to be pretty good in my opinion. And the appeal of defenders will drop, so they have more time to concede a goal basically. So I will go for more attacking and players that are going to return some points from attacking perspective, not only defensive wise. But yeah, game time of 100 minutes is coming to the Prem, so be prepared for it. And that means that those 6 or 7 extra minutes that the players are having on the field, because the regular additional time is 4 minutes to say, and if they increase that to 10 or 11, 6 or 7 minutes, it's going to be a lot more time for a player to return and to be considered that they are going to have to play more time. So yeah, attacking players are going to be way more important in my opinion, so we have to see how we are going to invest into them. But yeah, for sure, Rashford, Fernandes, Diaby, Mitoma, and Saka will be a lot better players for next season because they will be playing more time, and they will be very good for the bench boost if you decide to activate it. If you have so far enjoyed my bench boost draft, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 400 subscribers before the deadline of game week 1. Now let's discuss the forward line. Haaland here, I don't think you need any explanation why Haaland is here. He's in over 86.3 or 4 something like percent of the team. So yeah, he is going to be so popular, and not owning him will be very bad for you. And for me, not captaining him even is going to be pretty bad, because his ownership will be next to 200% effective ownership for sure each week. So go for Haaland. João Pedro against Luton, a home game. I believe he will be starting that game, and he may not get the full 90 minutes, but against Luton, two Brighton players are pretty solid, and then you can just drop him on the bench and play 3-5-2 or 4-4-2 to drop Diaby and Pedro together. But yeah, you can put him on the bench and just forget him and just try to take him out whenever the opportunities present. But for now, keep him in your draft, because for game week 1, remember, we are trying to build a bench boost draft. Jesus, he's the third Arsenal player, because in my opinion you need three Arsenal players, and I couldn't find a better suited striker for game week 1 to fit in. That's why that he's here. If Højlund was better, I may have dropped Fernandes and just put in Højlund and Martinelli, let's say. But for now, with the information, Jesus is the guy in the team. I don't like him as an FPL pick. I like him as a player, a real player, a lot, because he is opening so many opportunities for any other player. But by doing so, he's reducing his FPL output, and you need those points in bench boost. Now, I already spoke about all the players. I see a very reasonable point to activate the bench boost in game week 1, because you have all the information. You have 15 players playing. You can then set up for a 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. You can just sell the players that you don't need to week in and week out without taking hits. But I'm not going to activate my bench boost for real, because I don't think it's worth it without having a double game week. I know you're that way preparing a strong bench just to have a bench boost. Yeah, that's true. But preparing a strong bench for the start when you need all the 11 players in your side after game week 1 and just having so much money is not worth it for me. I don't have all of the information. Maybe Pedro is not nailed, Diaby maybe is not starting, Cash is maybe not playing as a right wing back and he's just a regular right back. Maybe John Stones is benched. Maybe something else happens. So yeah, we need real info from that season, not only for preseason. That's why I don't think I'm activating my bench boost, and I think you should not do that as well, because yeah, that's one less chip for you to consider. But you can have a big hole coming into future double game weeks or even a single game week when all of your players are pretty good fixture wise, and you can find a lot of cheap enablers. Then we will know who are the best ones are. So yeah, for me, do not activate the bench boost. If you think you want to see my real draft, click the video that's right now on your screen. But I'll be heading out for now, guys. Bye.